Look me in the eye, tell me what you see. Perfect paradise, paradise deceived. I wish I could escape. I don't wanna live. Wish I could erase it. Make your heart believe that I'm a bad liar. Bad liar. Now you know. Now you know. I'm a bad liar. Bad liar. Now you know. You're free to go.
Hello, everyone. The day that you've been waiting for is here. I have the amazing frog with me. Ribbit, sir.
Good afternoon or good morning. That'll
Right?
That'll cover most people.
Good day.
Yes, good day.
So, Frog and I have obtained a lot of documents here. It's the middle of the day. We're going to go over the most pertinent ones. But I think it's pretty damning, and I think it's something that people should see and know about wider than just me and Frog, you know?
I agree. And we've had these documents for a little while now. And I know you've been in touch with the family about them and about really what they want and what they don't want.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I mean, this is their loved one. I've kind of given them the wheel. They trust that we're gonna do justice here in presenting all this information, and hopefully some justice is served here someday.
Yeah, hopefully. It seems that a ball was dropped at some point by someone.
We'll get into that. No spoilers.
Okay.
So first, we're going to talk about his current charges out of Etowah County, Alabama. And I think it's worth noting that this was a grand jury indictment, which is pretty serious. Do you want to read it, Frog?
You want me to read it? Okay. So count one. The grand jury of Etowah County charges, I'm going to make that bit bigger, that before the finding of this indictment, Michael William Kiser, whose name is unknown to the grand jury other than as stated, knowingly entered or remained unlawfully in an unoccupied building with intent to commit a crime therein, to wit, theft of property, in violation of that code, contrary to law and against the peace and dignity of the state of Alabama.
Do you want me to read the next one?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. The grand jury of Etowah County charges that before the finding of this indictment, Michael William Kiser, whose name is unknown to the grand jury other than as stated, did commit theft of a credit card or debit card, regardless of value, to wit, MasterCard credit card, last four 5585, the property of David Lamar Chadwick in violation of provisions, and then the statute. It should be noted that Mr. Chadwick was his employer at a fabrication company.
Yeah.
You scroll down. We'll trade off.
Right, count three. So the grand jury that before finding of this indictment, Michael William Kiser, whose name is unknown to the grand jury other than as stated, attempted to use or allowed to be used a credit or debit card, to wit, Master credit card, last numbers there, for the purpose of obtaining property, services, or anything of value, with the knowledge that such card was stolen or had been revoked or cancelled, or for any other reason the use of the card was unauthorized by either the issuer or the person to whom such credit card or debit card was issued, to wit, in the same name, contrary to law.
Oh, you're going to have to read the juicy one. Dang it. Okay.
You want... Oh, I'm going to get the last one, yeah?
Yeah. Okay, count four. The grand jury of Etowah County charges Etowah? I always feel like I say those wrong, so I'm sorry if anyone watches this that is from there. Don't get offended. The grand jury of Etowah County charges that before the finding of this indictment, Michael William Kiser, whose name is unknown to the grand jury other than as stated, knowingly entered or remained unlawfully in an unoccupied building with intent to commit a crime therein, to wit, theft of property in violation, and then the statute.
Right. Count 5. Okay. Grand crime of theft of property in the third degree by knowingly obtaining or exerting unauthorized control over the property of another, to wit, his employer. 1. Sentry floor safe with combination entry, and 1. Sentry safe floor safe with keypad entry, with intent to deprive the owner of his or her property in violation of the statute.
All I can picture is him in like his dad's garage trying to break into those safes.
Yeah. And it's weird how we found these documents, isn't it? Because
They were
there are-
pretty easily accessible, actually.
they were easily accessible. They were available to the first person who reported on Michael William Kiser. But I don't know if he ever got them. I mean, they obviously cost money to get. Maybe it was the money that he didn't want to spend. But when you're looking at a potential murderer, I think any money spent is justified.
Well, I mean, it's important to put out as much as you can.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there was definitely an opportunity to put out more information than was put out, for
Mhm.
sure. Okay, so the next 3 documents we're going to go over are relating to the death of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr. I'll put his face up again because at the end of the day, this is for him, for justice for him, for peace for his family. So these documents are all going to be relating to that case.
And just so you know, we'd never looked at the murder case online. We hadn't even, because the Alabama system is a bit of it's almost a con. It's unlike most other states that I've come across, where
It's expensive, and if you try the normal routes, you get told that they can't give you anything.
yeah. So having found that we could access additional documents in connection with the current cases, I thought, well, we've never looked at the murder case. Maybe there are some documents there. So we bought the murder case, didn't we? And then got access to, I don't know, it was 6 pages of documents. I know that. Some of them very interesting. And those are the ones we're going to present today.
Well, no, for Cameron's case, we got 120 pages.
Something like that, yeah.
Just some interesting tidbits. Sorry, it's my first day. Okay, did that work? Yep. So this was one of those interesting tidbits that we found. It says, if it would load. Okay. Michael William Kiser was installed with GPS monitoring, like he's a car, was installed with GPS monitoring on August 20th, 2013, in accordance with an order dated June 25th, 2014. Mr. Kiser has informed GPS staff that he is scheduled for shoulder surgery Friday, October 24th, 2014. At Veterans Hospital in Birmingham, Alabama, since electronic devices are not allowed in surgery, it is respectfully requested that his GPS ankle device be removed on the evening of Thursday, the 23rd, and reinstalled on the 27th. And I know people are going to say, he went to a veterans hospital, he's a veteran. I mean, as Master Sergeant has shown, Stone Vet has gone over, it does not seem that he passed boot camp. I wouldn't consider that a veteran, to me, personally.
Well, I know the veterans don't consider him a veteran.
They don't seem to, no.
No. They say until he graduates basic training, he's just a normal person. But it does entitle him, somehow he got a veterans disabled rating. which does entitle him to attend those hospitals. So
It's just weird that the
that's,
surgery would have been what, almost 10 years after his last attempt at boot camp.
yeah, the I don't think we knew about this date of surgery. It's not one that I don't think he's mentioned, this one.
He makes it seem like it was a service injury.
Yeah. There we go. The angry vet. He is not a vet. You know, there's another veteran. But he's getting some of the services, but he's also
He's
committing
also
crime.
he's the child of an actual veteran too, so
Yeah. So that was the little
um
tidbit, wasn't it?
when I first saw that, I was like, "Oh, excuse me. Now we know."
And obviously we're assuming that it was factual, which we don't know. Maybe he just wanted to go away for the weekend that weekend and used his shoulder
Oh
as an
no, the court
excuse.
did end up approving it, so
All
that
right.
means that they
Yeah,
verified.
I know they approved it. Yeah, I'm not suggesting that they didn't approve it. So
I just think you had to go before the court and be like, "Can you cut off my ankle monitor so I can have surgery?" So the next one is okay. This is a tidbit from Donald's case. Can I zoom it out a little bit so I don't have to scroll so much? It says, comes now the state of Alabama by and through its counsel, Attorney General Luther Strange, and the undersigned Assistant Attorney General Andrew D. Arrington, pursuant to Alabama Rules of Evidence, Rule 404B, and do hereby give notice of the state's intention to introduce evidence of the defendant's other crimes, wrongs, or acts. Oh no, scroll. Dagnabbit. The state in presenting evidence to the charge of capital murder as indicted in this matter, or on the cross-examination of the defendant, may show that the defendant stole and disposed of the following weapons. Do you want to read the weapons?
1, an M1A1 folding carbine with that serial number, the property of Civilian Marksmanship Program located in Oxford, Alabama. 2, a Colt AR-15 assault rifle, the property of Mr. Larry Ford. 3, a Glock 19 9mm pistol, the property of James Worthington. 4, a Rossi .38 caliber pistol, the property of Daniel Fred Elliott. 5, a Taurus model 431.44 caliber pistol, the property of Danny Fred Elliott. I've already read the next one that Danny Fred Elliott features, so he took 3 off Danny. 6, a Norinco model 54.1 7.62 by 25 caliber rifle, the property of Danny Fred Elliott. So that is 4 people he stole firearms from. You're muted. Or you're muted to me.
No, I am muted. I'm terrible at this. Yeah, it looks like 6 guns off of 4 people. It says the state will intend to show that the defendant stole and disposed of the firearm of the deceased in this manner, in the same manner as the above listed victims, but not limited to other purposes such as proof of motive, opportunity, intent, preparation, plan, knowledge, identity, or absence of mistake or accident. Which is interesting. I've been trying to figure out what the disposal means would be, that they would still be able to get serial numbers and point it back to him.
Yeah, we
but
sort
it does
of
appear that they believed he was in possession of Donald's firearm and disposed of it in the same manner he did the other stolen firearms.
and this is giving us some indication of his the amount of theft that he committed, which may have been just taken into account for a guilty plea.
It's that's like, it's a lot of guns. What do you need all those guns for?
Hang on, there is a question in chat, a shouted question, and he stole Mr. Cameron's gun. Just go back up to the start so that we can clarify that is what the attorney's saying.
Well, it's not the start. It's actually, they're stating here, the state will show that the defendant stole and disposed of a firearm of the deceased in this manner, in the same manner as the above listed victims. So what the state was trying to introduce the prior crimes to prove that he possessed and disposed of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr.'s gun in the same manner. So it would appear he was in possession of the victim's gun based on this document.
Yeah.
I know, Stanley, I know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
And yet people believe he's a great guy. Send him
They
money.
support him. While
You know,
this family is so upset to know that he's on the internet and has this weird influence on people and that he's making money, you know, Donald's not here to take care of his parents as they're getting older or to see his grandchild. And Kaiser's out here switching rooms in his home, pretending he's on vacation, and that people are throwing money at him.
Sweet Melissa is asking, do you think Vestige of Peace is seething right now?
Probably because I exist and I'm breathing and blinking. Hi, Irene.
Vestige of Peace, I've seen your photo. A photograph of you. Sorry. A couple,
I've seen all the
actually.
psychotic emails she sends everyone.
Oh, my giddy aunt. Yeah.
All right, this next one, I'm gonna let Frog do because I think that his take on the matter is spot on here.
Right, okay. Shall I?
So originally, backstory, when they moved to dismiss this case, someone from the Attorney General's office, a female prosecutor, was brought in on the case pretty abruptly. I will note that the year that this was dismissed, 16 other capital murder cases were dismissed in this county. In my humble opinion, I believe that may have been to slightly alter the crime rate during an election year. But again, that's just my opinion. The original motion to dismiss, it was dismissed with prejudice due to the fact that the prosecution had only submitted, 2 sentences. They just said they wanted to dismiss it. They never gave a reason. So they then had to go back and file and give their reasoning to have it dismissed without prejudice. And Frog is going to read this in his lovely voice for you all.
Right. Yeah, this was the, I think, in my view, the biggest thing that the guns was quite big. The guns was quite big. But I think this was the biggest thing that we found, the reasons for the dismissal. Before I do that, I ought to mention the motion regarding the bringing those guns in. That was granted. The judge had granted the motion for the state to bring that evidence in.
I believe it was 2014 or 2015. His bond was revoked because he was arrested on another offense, and he was held without bond for I believe until it was dismissed. I didn't see any documents pulling that back.
Right.
But again, they might just not be public.
This is the state's request for reconsideration of order dismissing case with prejudice. Come now, the state of Alabama, by and through its Attorney General Luther Strange, and respectfully requests this honourable court to reconsider its order on January 22, 2016, dismissing the above style case with prejudice. As grounds for this request, the state avers the following. I know in the motion it will explain what with and without prejudice means, so I'm not going to explain it for those in chat that might not know. 1. The defendant was charged with a capital offence in the above style cause with regard to causing the death of Donald Cameron while in the commission of a burglary. 2. On Wednesday, January 20, 2016, the state filed a motion to dismiss. Can we go down to the little one here? Sorry, just scroll up a bit so that I can, because it really, that's
the note.
Yeah, the note. And this it will explain further. So this is the state titled its motion as 1 to dismiss. In retrospect, the appropriate title should have been a motion to nolle prosequi. And there's a citation there. Our research in this area has been complicated because the terms nolle pros and dismissal are used interchangeably Although the terms have been used indiscriminately, even by this court, there is a distinction. The entry of nolle prosequi or nol pros in a criminal case is a termination of the particular prosecution for that charge, but it does not bar later proceedings. And that's citation. So go back up to where the note was. Okay. So the state filed a motion to dismiss the above styled matter. The necessity for dismissal became apparent to the state as it was preparing for the February 29, 2016 trial date. Just make a note there. I think I'm right in saying that Wrangler says it was dismissed on the night before the trial or something like that.
No, this is more than a month before.
Yes, it's more than a month before this occurred. So,
And again, as I stated earlier, this is one of 16 capital murder cases that were dropped in 2016 in Calhoun County.
During the course of its preparation, the state became aware that the May 13, 2013 indictment failed to apprise the defendant of each and every element of the charge of capital murder during the course of a burglary in the first or second degree, as set forth in the section. Specifically, the May 13, 2013 charging instrument reads, the grand jury of Calhoun County charges that before the finding of this indictment, Michael William Kiser, whose name is otherwise unknown to the grand jury, did, with the intent to cause the death of another person, cause the death of Donald A. Cameron by shooting him with a firearm, and the said Michael William Kiser caused such death during the time that he knowingly and unlawfully entered or remained or attempted to enter or remain unlawfully in a dwelling home of another, to wit, Donald A. Cameron, with intent to commit a crime therein, to wit, burglary in the second degree by unlawfully entering a lawfully occupied dwelling and home with intent to commit a theft or felony therein in violation of code against the peace and dignity of the state of Alabama. So that is the indictment that was signed by the grand jury. And they found an error, and it should have read, shall I read the whole of it? Or shall I read from where I know it differs?
Just read the difference, because I think it's going to be pretty jarring for a lot of people how few words it took for, in my opinion, a murderer to walk.
Can you just, sorry, scroll up just so I can see the other one, so I can see where it starts. So yeah. Don't know. The cause said death. Okay. During the time that he knowingly. Yeah. Okay. So it's around the middle of the new
I'll see if I can zoom a little more.
Indictment. And actually words have been removed, basically. In all intents and purposes, there are certain words removed. Right, so I'm going to start by shooting him with a firearm, and the said Michael William Kiser caused said death during the time that he unlawfully entered or attempted to enter unlawfully in a lawfully occupied dwelling house of another, to wit, Donald A. Cameron, with intent to commit a theft or felony therein, to wit, theft of property in violation, etc. And
you guys have heard both versions. Do you think that someone should walk on a murder case over that little of a difference?
There's burglary mentioned in the first one. If you go back up to the first one.
Yep.
There is, burglary in the second degree is mentioned in the first one, which isn't mentioned in the way they're saying it should have read. I'm not sure if that's because they didn't charge him with the burglary, as to why it should come out. Do you want me to read the rest of the?
I can read it. I'm on the internet for reading practice, by the way. You guys are just along for the journey.
You haven't done two. Yeah, you need to go.
Oh, I gotta go up.
Yeah. Okay. That there.
That was too.
The state, okay, I just finished that, and then you do 3. The state believes that the
Oh.
variances created by the May 13, 2013 were too significant to continue forward under this charging instrument. So they
Too
were worried.
significant.
So they were worried that a small technicality in wording would result in a prosecution that could be thrown out, possibly on appeal, even, So,
And which again is in contrast to what they told the family. So when I first got these documents, me and Frog talked. I asked for advice. I sat on it for a day because I didn't know if I should show the family this. I eventually did. They were misled when the prosecutor was brought in, the one who dismissed it. Um, they they were pretty badly misled about the circumstances. Um, and the last parts here that I'm going to read out was never said or told to them.
just before you read it out, can I do an advertisement that
Mhm.
after this stream, I've got a static video. It's about 10 minutes long, and I actually compare side by side the indictments. So there
Excellent
is,
video.
and highlight it. So if you want to see the actual differences side by side, go to my premiere in
And
about an
please
hour's time.
keep in mind, if you feel compelled to contact the prosecutor's office or whatever, please do not contact the family. They aren't into this internet stuff. This is all a lot for them. Um, you are more than welcome to contact offices and agencies associated with this case. But I know people were trying to communicate with them on Facebook, and they don't want that. I ended up connected to them quite incidentally by a third party. But it's overwhelming for them, and just please have respect for them, as you can see that this has been quite an injustice that they've suffered here. And I say suffered with full weight of the word.
And they want justice, but they don't want
They do.
contact. So you know, whatever the internet can do for good is to try and get the authorities, I believe, in the
In a
state to,
civil and rational and informative
yeah.
manner. There is
Hmm.
no emotional arguing with a government office. They don't care about online shit, but if you speak the facts to them, you may get somewhere. More bees with honey, you know?
Yeah, maybe it will get reopened. Who knows?
Exactly, Jolie. And they're still going through a lot because this
Yeah,
man, it really bothers them that he's out on the internet making money and people are believing his bullshit, and Donald's not here.
yeah. Let down by the state.
Completely, completely. So I'll read the end of this. On January 22nd, 2016, the Honorable Court dismissed the case with prejudice. The state respectfully requests that this Honorable Court reconsider its order for dismissal with prejudice. The state merely sought to dismiss the current indictment because of a defect in the wording as noted above. The state did not include any facts in its motion to dismiss, which is their fault. And the defendant did not supply the court with any facts regarding the merits of the case. I'm not going to read the dictionary definition of with prejudice. The state recognizes that the court is the final authority with respect to the ultimate disposition of this case. It respectfully asks for reconsideration and modification of the court's order to annul prosecute or dismissal without prejudice due to the nature of this case and the impact a dismissal with prejudice will have on the state's ability to seek justice in this matter. When have they?
Yeah, it appears that something happened. I don't know whether an attorney got moved. There was an election. They didn't want too many cases. They wanted to deal with current cases as opposed to murders that occurred in 2009. And it was just easy for them to put this one on the long burner.
And I am looking into the 16 other cases that they dismissed that year, to see what the circumstances of those are.
But why would the prosecutor, if they thought, we've got a good case, why would they have amended the dismissal?
Well, so my thing is the original prosecutors on this case, I think it was Arrington, was doing a great job from the documentation that we've been over. It seemed like a solid case. The family was told it was a very solid case. And it seems like when the assistant attorney general, assistant attorney generals, two of them were put on it. It seems like when they got assigned to a bunch of cases, that's when they all started being dismissed.
And of course, if Wrangler hadn't have come onto the internet, this
No one
probably
would know.
this would probably just die a death. But he chose to come on the internet, so probably only has himself to blame for all this attention on him, and obviously he's upset a lot of vets.
Well, and I
He's
find
up.
it very jarring that he commonly makes statements about physically harming or murdering people, quite flippantly in conversations, especially when talking about auditors. I find that
Mhm.
alarming, given the behavior that I believe led to the death of Donald Atwater Cameron Jr.
How anyone can consider that he is, he's a reformed individual, I have no idea. To
It's
me,
not a
those,
past issue if he's currently lying about it.
yeah, even his current case, he says that's being dealt with. Well, it's not being dealt with. The case hasn't moved. His current case hasn't moved for months and months and months.
Oh, he and I know why that is.
Mm.
I'll send you a phone number after this. Yep, he does claim that he has firearms, which is alarming given the amount of firearms he stole from numerous victims, and the fact that the prosecution was fairly confident that he possessed and disposed of Donald Atwater Cameron's firearm in the same manner
As
after
I
his
see,
death.
see Stoned Vet in the chat. I assume you were here when we read through that dismissal. I'd be
Um,
interested.
yeah, you can email me or ask Stone Vet. He has my number.
Yeah, Georgia Transparency. I'm not sure I've ever featured you on my channel. I can't remember you being arrested, but you might have been, and I might have featured you.
Did you kill a Marine veteran who had mobility issues in his own home execution style and then play on his PlayStation?
I don't think Georgia Transparency did that. Georgia
I feel like
Transparency.
someone has, though. Isn't that weird? I feel like
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
has. Huh.
Who's the bad guy? Who's the bad guy? Georgia Transparency sometimes pushes the limits of the law. That's all he's
Oh,
doing.
no, I wasn't saying you actually killed someone. I was just pointing out that Kiser is a wicked fucking hypocrite for saying anything about anyone given his past and present.
Shiz, will these docs be available
Yes,
to
I will
read?
put them in my Discord if someone wants to drop the Discord link. Um, this request was granted, so it was switched to dismissed without prejudice, meaning that the state has every right to refile these charges. That's the worst. That's when I was talking to the family and they were talking about the circumstances when they said he was shot in the head, execution style. My first reaction, because I'm me and I'm terrible, was back to front or front to back, and they said back to front.
Okay,
Fucking
Stone Vet
terrible. A
did
man who
answer.
couldn't run from you.
Stone Vet did answer me. So let's, from a veteran's point of view, what do you think of the state's position on this? The way they seem to have dealt with the dismissal. Good. I see the shout. I see the shout. Thanks, Angry Vet. Yeah. I mean,
Just please keep the
Steve,
family out of it and let's be
yeah.
civil. We want to be taken seriously if we're going to try to enact some sort of forward motion in this. And it needs to be gone about the right way, guys. Which is a lot to ask of internet people, but please.
And can I just say that the internet enables lots of people from different backgrounds and different skills to get together, and we've seen that in the outing of the veteran things. And it's only by looking and delving and that we found this, isn't it? We basically found this by luck. We weren't.
You and I have a habit of doing that, Frog. We talk and then our wheels start turning and we find a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
I like it.
You know, but it was all there. It was all there for the first person that looked at this case.
Welsh News Network could have clicked through 2 tabs and paid some money and got all the same things.
Yeah.
Oh, was that random number texting me? Okay.
I think we're in the 100 to 200. I think with what's been spent on the Alabama.
Yeah,
and
like
that, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm still waiting on. I did a record sweep for for his father's address where he resided for quite some time. Just based on rumors I had heard from people in the area. I'm really curious about that. And I am also waiting for the narrative reports from Calhoun County.
Jammin' Jet, shut up. Massachusetts.
Massachusetts?
Yeah, I can't say it.
Really? I can't say a lot of things. Oh, yay. Team loves me again. I'm excited. He never hated me. I'm just saying that everyone divorced me because apparently everyone hates me and I have no friends. So, but I love you too, team.
It's nice to see you here, team.
Even though you didn't come up to Boston for Halloween so we could go to Salem, I think that's pretty lame, but whatever. Oh, I have to pat Frog on his head.
Did I finish with Georgia transparency? I don't know. I was just basically saying, well, you know, he's pushing the limits, and some people might not like how he does it, but so long as it's within the law, it's up to the law. It's up to the statute to either change so it makes what he's doing illegal. Otherwise, society is allowing him to do what he wants, what he's doing. You know, people do things that other people disagree with. That's what Georgia transparency is doing. Basically, there's not a lot wrong with it unless he crosses the line.
Yep.
Every person has a different moral level. You know, we think.
Well, I think the problem with YouTube is a lot of people's moral compasses are for sale around here, and mine is not. I don't do lives often. I don't speak up often, but when I do, it's with purpose. Yeah, if you're a scumbag out here, then you should hate me. I'd rather have you as a friend, Shiz, than Vop. I would rather have a colonic with habanero peppers than be friends with Vop. Thank you. That crazy lady. If anyone wants to do a dramatic reading of Vestige of Peace's craziest moments, I have a lot of emails and comments saved. If anyone would like to do that, I think it would be hilarious.
Have you got would she be able to comment in chat if she?
Oh yeah, she's not blocked.
I bet she's watching, but probably doesn't want to raise her.
Irene, in that picture of you on the couch with the button down and you're smoking the cigarette, I assume it's a Misty 100, but I really want to know what kind of cigarette it was. Just because you look like Mac's mom from Always Sunny. I digress. On that note, I'm gonna wrap this up. Could somebody drop the link to Frog's premiere that's coming up? He goes a little more in depth with the documents. I think
No, I
this
just do
opinion
that
was
one
spot
document.
on.
I just do the one document.
Oh, that's it?
It's purely on
It's a
that
good one.
dismissal, because I think it's the dismissal that is important, and it's the dismissal where if there's the right person out there, we don't know.
Right? Maybe the right
someone,
person will see it. The right person will speak up because
it's
Donald Atwater Cameron deserves justice, and
it's
Wrangler
basically
doesn't deserve to be getting money online.
basically people in that area, isn't it? That could possibly, maybe someone in the DA's office is watching.
Oh, team, I'll get you guys in touch. You guys can touch tips. It's fine.
I know you tried to get Master Sergeant to come on with us, but he couldn't
I
make it, which
did.
is
My
unfortunate.
apologies to Master Sergeant. This is my kid-free time for this weekend. So I had to do it now, but when I get the narrative reports, I'll probably go live with Master Sergeant and read over them, because I have a feeling they're going to be interesting. I know at least one of them is really interesting.
I see Angry Vet's just spoken to me. I'll have no issues with an interview with you. I don't really do interviews, Angry Vet, but unlike, I really don't like the term frauditor, lumping everyone into the same boat. Everyone is an individual. Everyone has their good sides, their good things, and their bad things, and I will criticize you probably if you get arrested, or I'll report your arrest. I might not even criticize you, but you're pushing the envelope of the rights. That's what people do. It's a perfectly acceptable thing to do.
Because then he would have to confront the truth about himself, and that seems to be really hard for him.
Georgia transparency.
Generalizations are bad, period, not just hasty ones.
Yeah.
Where's
I would say
transparency?
Georgia transparency. You're not off my list of people who I would come and have a beer with. I wouldn't do that with Fraudit Wrangler.
I wouldn't turn my back on that motherfucker. I wouldn't want him to know where my house is. Might climb in a window.
He is the scum of the earth. Tom, I haven't shown it in my video. If you don't believe me, I will actually pull that, because obviously that isn't a very interesting document. But I do have the document, and I'll put it on my community post so that you can see that yes, it was changed to without prejudice, so it can be brought back.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
The motion was granted. There was no submission regarding that motion by the defense. Actually,
That's a lie. I just talked to them this morning.
Don't
be jelly. Where's Priestess? I had a video call with the family and Priestess while we were going over information.
Can you bring up my screen, Shiz? Because
yep.
Because on there, as you can see, 6 pages of documents here. On here, you should see the motion granted. I'll highlight it there.
Yep.
Okay. Motion granted.
Oh, look, that's weird. Priestess is saying we had a group video call with the family. That's crazy. Angry Vet, I am not monetized because I don't need YouTube sympathy money. I work like a normal person and destroy my spine.
So I don't know. Does that answer the question about the motion being granted? I'm displaying it here now. This is the Alabama court website, and as you can see, that was the 26th of January. It was granted, and there were very few filings after that event. But that gives you some idea of the amount of documents that were available.
I think the filings after were all just legal fee declarations and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, that was the last one of But I thought, as the question had been asked, hopefully people believe me, but obviously not everyone believes me. So there's
Well,
the proof.
there's a Michael Kiser channel in my Discord. Under documents, I'm gonna drop all the PDFs, or
Oh,
if Biff wants to, if he's watching, he has them too.
all the 60 or whatever that we
Yeah,
got.
why is there a fight in here between Stoned Vet and Angry Vet? There's Angry and Stoned Vets arguing. Seems like some dork nonsense, guys.
The angry vet, you love to, yeah, it does. Actually, it would be good to get but I think that would be quite a good live stream, Stone Vet, if you did get him up on your channel. He's quite an angry man, is the angry vet.
I don't know who that is, so.
Got the angry vet. He got arrested the other night.
I know. Is this the Aiden that called? Wait, is this the Aiden that called the restaurant we were in Times Square? I think it might be. I don't remember which one it was. There's so many Aiden accounts. All right. Well, I think that's all we have for today. Again, I am waiting for an address records pull packet and a narrative report packet. We're going on, I think, over a month now, so hopefully soon. Right, McAddicts figured it out. The angry vet just needs some weed.
That's probably true.
Yeah, that always bothers me because I go live like once every couple months and only when I need to. Because people put out information and then don't get the totality of it. I put out a little video with what the family had told me. I was really disheartened going over these documents that the family was misled. And they weren't happy about it either.
And for the sake of total honesty, I am monetized. I know some people, it's been reported that I'm not monetized, but I am monetized. But that's as far as I go. I don't offer memberships. I don't. Well,
But
I
if I
do.
ever did that, I would do what you do. I'd have like a records fund with it.
You
Because
know,
it gets expensive.
and well, yeah. I mean, that's what the funds are for, to get records like this. And I'm asked.
Team would like to know if you're a toker. I would also like to know.
What is a toker?
Do you smoke God's cabbage, the devil's lettuce?
I prefer an edible. My my youngest son was a nice brewer of butter to make
Ooh.
edibles. So,
All right, team, we're gonna go over there.
but it's illegal over here, as you probably all know.
Never mind, we're not going over there. I don't know how he got the shoulder injury. I just know that based on these court documents, the surgery was in 2014, which doesn't really seem to coincide with his story that it happened during his service.
Yeah, and he
Oh
actually,
yeah, we can all meet in Amsterdam.
he hasn't said how he was injured, has he? He hasn't actually, because we know
That was the
he's
bullet,
lied
right?
about.
Didn't he say what did he have in his shoulder? It was a bullet in his shoulder and frag in his back, right?
Yeah. So we know he's lied about things, but he hasn't explained how they happened, because if they had, assuming they happened while he was in basic training, could have been accident on base, could have been, I mean, he's a little weedy man, isn't he? Who knows? They might have attacked him, because who knows? But
and can I bring it up on here?
his injuries, if you think about them, like I've thought, is that a bike wreck? Has he been in a bike wreck?
They seem like a car accident type
You know,
thing.
that type of thing.
Yeah, see, he said he had a slug in his shoulder.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
did they leave it in for 10 years and then do the surgery while he was on trial for murder? Very weird.
It is very weird. I mean, it's I just can't understand how anyone believes him. I really can't.
I like Stone Vet's theory. If you were dumb enough to give this man money, please give him all of it.
Yeah, I suppose there's that. Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully he needed to hire an attorney, because he'd never hired an attorney before. He was public defended.
Yeah, a lot of them have listed public defenders, and his dad bonded him out a lot.
Yeah. And that wasn't a
Oh, I
cheap
forgot to
bond,
bring
was
this
it?
up. This has all been worth it because Wally's proud of me.
Wally, did we get some stuff that you didn't?
Oh no, I talked to him like a week ago and told him just a brief summary of some of the stuff that we had, and he hadn't found that. I really think it's because Alabama just wants money. That's why they're that way with records. They just want you to pay a bunch for them.
I think Stone Vet said, you know, you have someone to do that and someone to do that and someone to do that. The more people who sort of collate into a team, you get to the truth.
Yeah, it's a brainstorming session.
You know, and yeah.
You hear the landscapers.
I'm sure. I see Finnish Commando. I'm sure someone shot him in the shoulder because he was climbing into their apartment to just loan some stuff. Perhaps he
I
shot
wouldn't doubt that
perhaps he shot
may
himself.
have an injury from that.
Perhaps he shot himself as he was coming out of the window. He forgot to
drop
put
the gun he was stealing.
On. Yeah, perhaps.
Just pontificating. Now he's gonna take that one little part and be like, "Look what they're saying. They're lying." Like, scroll back and read through the documents, you piece of shit. Pardon my language, but this whole thing frustrates me a lot because this should have been handled properly at the time.
While I think about it, of course, Wrangler did direct people towards the investigating authorities to get documents.
He literally told me to get the documents when Welsh was going over them, and I said, "Okay, I'm going to."
Yeah, but we know that they're not being forthcoming with those documents.
No.
What he didn't do is he didn't direct anyone to where we got these documents. I don't know if he knew that they were available. He probably didn't, because he's an idiot. And he probably didn't think that someone would uncover what we've uncovered.
Thief on a shelf, like elf on a shelf. It's like the Percocet goblin's gonna get you. Yeah, Toshi, as I affectionately call you. I'm finding that a lot of people pointing the fingers at people saying they're criminals for their misdemeanor charges are hiding much larger things behind those judgments.
It's obviously the much larger things that it's the felonies that really
it's the
concern
murder
me.
that does it for me. You know what I mean?
Well, where you hurt someone and sexual offences, those are the ones that really get me. I mean, most auditors, if they are committing offences, they're minor little offences.
When you're severely negatively affecting or ending someone's life, you shouldn't be profiting off of YouTube. Yes, he did. I can send you the clip. Stone Vet actually, I think, just played the clip the other day. He did state that he did 2 Purple Hearts in 3 tours, I think is what he said. And he never passed basic, according to the records Master Sergeant pulled. So, yeah, mechanics, I'm with you. I'm boring. I'm wearing a mom sweater, live streaming at 12:54.
What filter
that's how
have
my
you got?
life's going.
What filter have you got going?
I made this one just for Merb.
Mm-hmm.
So, even though I still have wrinkles.
I don't understand how filters work, so.
Yeah, I don't. I use a magic filter that makes me not a fat pig. So, oh well. Was it 2 Purple Hearts from 2 different tours? I don't remember exactly. Stone Vet went over it. But yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. At the end of the day, in my opinion, he's a lying, murderous sack of shit. And it really pisses me off that he's on the internet and people are fawning over him and sending him money when Donald's not here. Donald's not here to watch YouTube videos, guys. He can't like, comment, fucking subscribe. He can't do any of it. He's not here. But Wrangler is. And he's here being held aloft by people that are choosing to ignore this evidence. And I really wish that they would open their eyes, because I couldn't imagine losing my loved one in such a manner and then having to know that person is on YouTube making money and acting like he didn't kill him.
I do feel at some point, because of all the criminals that are coming out, that I'm going to have to show my face at some point on here, because it doesn't really bother me.
So Carla, I'm so sorry. That's interesting. Everyone's saying that there's an upcoming court date. I'm not seeing anything. I do have the court portal, the thing you and I use. I'm not seeing anything in there. The last I had heard, I had spoke with the court and with the bondsman. Last I had heard, he's on some conditions with the court. So it's basically in a holding pattern to see if he fucks up again. That's where that stands right now. I do not see any current court dates coming up. I think that might have been an error in whatever system people were using to look it up.
Cody's saying I've shown my face.
No, you showed your legs.
No, I've been told here that I've showed my face once, but so there is possibly a video out there with my face on it. I don't know.
I'm gonna be real mad if you're not an amphibian. I think I have pictures of your face, I think. The power. No, I would never. Kiser was in the shadow. Yeah, Kiser is a military cuck. He gets off on other people's service.
I would definitely let all the auditors that are in your chat, well, I think there's two that I've seen. The Angry Vet and Georgia Transparency. I'm not sure if I've seen anyone else. But I'd let you off all your past and future crimes, so long as they didn't amount to felonies. If for that, I got Wrangler to face justice.
Yep. It's all worth it if there's some justice served here.
Yeah.
He deserves to be alive, but in the absence of that, he deserves justice. For sure. But I know you have a video premiering.
Yeah. In half an hour's time, that will go. So just going through that in detail. Yeah, I'm happy to wrap.
Yeah, I guess we'll leave it at that. Again, here's the information. Form your own opinion. If you choose to be dumb, don't be surprised if you get roasted like a peanut for it. Thank you very much, Frog, for this collaborative effort and for being here today.
And I can confirm we weren't scripted.
Are we supposed to be scripted?
Unlike some other people.
Oh, I get so much anxiety before live streams because it makes me nervous, but I just got up here and wing it.
We hadn't even discussed who was going to read out what.
No, we just got to hop backstage and put up the intro, which I will play as an outro because it's perfect. Any last words, Frog? It sounds like I'm going to murder you, but I'm not a Kiser or a Hernandez.
Good evening. I've got to go and think about something to eat.
Flies, probably. Have a good day, everyone. I almost said night, but have a good day.
Cheers. Goodbye.
So